after the appetizer, let's go ahead and make a very interesting tomato soup. Tomato soup with an attitude. Well, what I do is I take a can of tomato soup and add some spices to it. My mother used to make this with fresh tomatoes. She'd put it in boiling water, then peel the skin, put it in the blender. Well, I take the shortcut way. I just open the can of tomato soup and then I go ahead and put it in a pot. The can says that you have to add about a can full of water. I go ahead and add 2 canfuls. We're doing a little different recipe here. Now as that is being boiled there, let's go ahead and make the masala for this. Masala simply means some spices and herbs blended together. Here, so I'm going to add some nuts, some peanuts. Maybe I should cover that pot. Some peanuts and a little bit of coconut. Unsweetened coconut is okay, or if you have sweetened coconut, remember to add a little less sugar when you're adding whatever the recipe calls for. Green chili. One thing about chilies, the thinner they are, the spicier they are, hotter they are. So I think 1 green chili is good enough for this recipe. And then I'm going to add some ginger. Ginger, which I've peeled the skin, and go ahead and add some to this blender. Add a little bit of water to it. And make a smooth puree. After this paste has been done, go ahead and add it to this pot. The soup is boiling here. Add this paste. Now if you want to skip the green chilies, that's optional too. You don't have to add chilies, but it'll give a nice zing to the soup, so to say. This soup is especially very good when you have a nasal congestion. Your sinuses just open up with the spices. Now a final garnish for this soup, I'm going to add, as a final garnish to the soup, I'm going to add some cumin seeds which have been sauteed in oil. It just gives a finishing touch to the soup. So I take about a teaspoon of source of the oil. Any vegetable oil is okay. Then add cumin seeds. You may have guessed, cumin seed is my favorite spice. I like to add it to everything. In fact, if cumin seeds is over in my house, if I'm out of cumin seeds, I say there are no spices left in the house. I'm sure you all have your own preference. That's the beauty of Indian cooking. You can adjust your spice to whichever you prefer. If you like cumin seeds, go ahead and use cumin seeds by all means. If you don't like it, cut it down. Okay, if you see the spices, the cumin seeds have roasted and they've got a nice brown flavor and they're sizzling. That's the right temperature of oil and the spices, which give a wonderful aroma. Now the soup is ready here. And you add a little bit of salt and sugar. If you're adding sweetened coconut, remember to cut down on this sugar. To serve the soup, let me show you. just before serving the soup, what you need to do is take a little bit of cilantro and cut it fine, like so. And some coconut, and you take the spices which you've added, which you've roasted, and go ahead and add it to this soup. Then take the cilantro and just spoon it all around, and take a little bit of coconut. There, you have a very easy tomato soup with an attitude, or in the Indian language it would be called as tomato Saar, which is enjoyed with rice, but I like to enjoy just plain soup with some sourdough bread. So here I've taken tomato soup, added a little bit of spices and herbs, and you have a beautiful Indian dish.